What's happening, guys? What's going on? YouTube, you guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels, and in today's video, we're going to be sharing kind of an interesting business news story with you guys. Aldi, the supermarket Aldi, as well as Dollar General and InstaCart are going to be paying employees, and I guess employees, I'm using the word loosely, Instacart are technically contractors, but these three companies are going to be paying employees to get the COVID-19 vaccination. Also recently, Amazon and Uber have been lobbying for frontline workers to kind of jump to the front of the line and get vaccinated since they're out on the front lines working and in contact with people. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Today's story comes to us from Reuters. Just playing with you, Icarus. I know you're going to call me out, buddy. It comes to you from Reuters. The article is titled, "Supermarket Chain Aldi to Pay U.S. Workers who get the COVID-19 vaccination." Now, from a business perspective, employers, employees, etc., this is kind of a hot topic. I saw Patrick Bet-David a couple weeks ago on his podcast was having a discussion about this very topic, and he said it's kind of a touchy issue because if you don't mandate employees get vaccinated and you wind up having an outbreak in your workplace, well, now you're responsible for that outbreak and for people getting sick because you didn't require everybody to get vaccinated. However, on the flip side, if you force people to get vaccinated, not only is that potentially, stepping on people's rights, but also now you're, maybe you might be liable, you could be responsible if somebody has any negative effects from the vaccination. So kind of a touchy issue, and I've been actually kind of surprised. My girlfriend works in the healthcare industry. My mom works in the healthcare industry. In the past, these industries have always forced their employees to get the flu shots. You have to get a TB test. Unlike a lot of other industries, the healthcare industry can require a lot more of you in terms of, kind of how you live your life, vaccinations you get, etc. So this will be the first time potentially that outside of healthcare workers, people are potentially forced to get a vaccination that they may not want to get. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. I had some kind of anecdotal stories that I've heard about the vaccination and things like that, but due to this being YouTube and not wanting to run afoul of any of their policies, I can't really get into that stuff. And it's kind of a shame that we have to tiptoe around and walk on eggshells and kind of can't talk about issues, but that's the world we're living in. Let's hop into the article here. According to Reuters, German supermarket chain Aldi, which I'm a huge fan of Aldi. I love their cauliflower crust pizza. Aldi's not like it used to be, man. They got oat milk, coconut milk, almond milk. They got good cheeses. They got a fresh bakery section. Aldi's really stepped up their game in recent years. But Aldi on Tuesday became the latest firm in the grocery sector to offer incentives for U.S. employees getting a COVID-19 vaccine, saying it would give up to 4 hours of pay to those who choose to receive inoculations. And here's what's interesting about the 4 hours. I guess props to Aldi for doing something. Like anytime an employer does something for employees or pays employees, I suppose that's a good thing. However, the CDC actually recommends taking the day off of work after you get the vaccination. The first shot, a lot of people are fine after. The second shot really kind of seems to knock people on their butt. It just, people have flu-like symptoms. Some people have nausea, headaches. It's completely normal. It's a normal reaction to the vaccination, but it is a lot worse than the flu shot and a lot of other vaccinations in that regard. So, it'd be nice if they also gave people a paid day off work to recover after getting the vaccination, but they are offering 4 hours. The retailer, which has more than 2,000 stores in 37 U.S. states, said it would cover costs associated with the vaccine administration and implement on-site vaccination clinics at its warehouse and office locations. Dollar General Corp last week offered frontline employees a similar incentive after they get the vaccine, while grocery delivery company Instacart said it would pay $25 to more than 500,000 gig workers if they chose to take time off to get vaccinated. Aldi said it was working with officials across the United States to give workers priority access to the vaccine, joining other companies including Amazon.com Inc. and Uber Technologies Inc. in lobbying to move workers closer to the front line for vaccinations. However, conflicting state and local guidelines on how shots will be administered and to which workers have made the process of navigating the vaccine rollout confusing for corporations and industry bodies. Most corporations globally have so far been quiet on whether they would try to secure doses for employees, even as some Indian firms are considering buying COVID-19 shots outright for their employees once a vaccine becomes commercially available. And so a couple interesting things kind of about this article. The rollout of the vaccines has been kind of terrible, to be honest. So we've put such a priority on getting certain people vaccinated, i.e. frontline healthcare workers and the elderly, that it's kind of slowed down the rollout process and has left a lot of people questioning, would we be better off just opening it up to anybody and everybody and getting as many shots out there as possible, as opposed to trying to give it to certain groups? I know at certain nursing homes and certain healthcare facilities, as far as like workers and aides who take care of the elderly, anywhere from like 40% to, in some facilities, as many as 90% of nurses and frontline workers or frontline healthcare workers are refusing to take the vaccine. And so from what I've heard, I have some friends who work in some of these places, and some friends who are nurses and things like that. And what I've heard, another friend of mine got a call the other day from a friend, and she was like, hey, we got extra COVID-19 vaccinations. If you want one, just come down before 5 o'clock. So basically what's happening, they have a certain amount of vaccines. Such a large number of people are not wanting the vaccines that they're left with all these unused vaccines. And because of how they have to be refrigerated and stored, they got to kind of wind up burning through them. So you literally have facilities where people are calling friends, family members, and putting calls out to the general public. I think I've even seen some on Twitter where it's like, hey, we got extra vaccines, come down to this area by 5 o'clock and we'll get you vaccinated. So, so many people are turning these down that it's kind of turning out to just, we'll give it to whoever. So the whole kind of rollout has been kind of a mess. What do you guys think about this issue? Should employers be able to mandate their employees get COVID-19 vaccinations? Should they not be able to do that? Is that trampling on people's rights? Should workers who choose not to be vaccinated be forced to work remotely and not be able to come into the office? These are all kind of tricky issues. Let me know your thoughts on them. Drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button below and ring the bell. And until next time, Rules for Rebels, signing out. I'll catch you on the next video.